All right, y'all, we are back with another video, and we got corrupt Letitia James is being called out for fraud, because we already know the mess that she's trying to put Donald Trump in and stuff like this. And when she was outside that building trying to agree with a fan about she gonna try her best to sue Donald Trump, which I believe is not gonna work. Her and that corrupt judge, the one that was smirking, took his glasses off like he ain't never seen a camera before in a day in his life. And so we definitely need to check this out, because I'm hearing now by Doug and Exile say that she went too far this time. Because if y'all can remember, in that courtroom, she was staring at the back of Donald Trump's head like she just has a personal vendetta against this man, which we all know she has a personal vendetta, because she has no reason to be going after Donald Trump. She don't have a reason. She just don't like him. So she's trying to use her personal reasons is the reason she wanted to go after him, but trying to lie to the media about it, because Trump has already called her out about that. But make sure y'all hit that like button, subscribe to the channel. Shout out to everybody showing so much support. Everybody been leaving positive comments in the comment section. I also want to thank everybody that clicked on this video for the very first time. Appreciate you as well. Without further ado, let's dive straight to it, y'all.
Trump may have been given a gag order by Jack Smith, but he has no such gag order with Letitia James in New York. And here he calls her out for fraud.
Yep. This is the Attorney General of New York State, Letitia James, and she should be allowed to be Attorney General. She's defrauded the public with this trial.
That's Trump speaking just before he heads into his New York civil trial. He ends up revealing everything about Letitia James you need to know, and it's going to backfire. I'll show you at the end of this video how Democrats are turning toward Trump for 2024. That means Letitia James, it didn't work. Welcome to exile.
Yes,
this
sir.
Is where all the happy people are. I'd love to have you guys share this post out, leave a comment, give us a thumbs up and a follow. All that stuff really helps get our message out. It helps multiply this and help spread the word about Trump.
And my children are involved in this, and they don't deserve to be involved in this. This is a witch hunt by a radical lunatic attorney general that shouldn't be allowed to be an attorney general. She's horrible. And it's very unfair. We don't get a jury trial. There's no jury. And we don't have any choice. Somebody said we could have checked a box or something. We don't check a box. This is a statute that was never used before, never once used before for anything like this. I'm the first one. Isn't that nice?
Trump is the first to not get a jury using this statute. That shows how far it exposes everything about the left and the Democrats that you need to know. Because just by this one instant popping out uniquely used against Trump proves that they're bending over backwards to break every rule to go after him. This is a political witch hunt.
And I should be in Iowa now. I should be in New Hampshire now. I should be in South Carolina now or someplace else campaigning. The good news is we're about 60 points up on everybody, and we're leading Biden by 11. And that's why they're doing this, because this is all coming out of Washington.
We're going to get to Trump's positive polls in a minute, too, to prove that his polls are doing better than he was doing in 2020.
I don't get the option. If I begged for a jury, they wouldn't give me a jury. I get no jury. The judge is going to make a decision. He's a Democrat judge. He's very liberal. And I believe he's under a lot of pressure. This is a rigged trial. This is a rigged situation. And our country can't stand these things. And the people of our country understand it. We're being railroaded. And I have other trials we're being railroaded. You saw yesterday where they take away my right to speak. I won't be able to speak like I'm speaking to you. And I'm not saying anything wrong. I'm saying the truth. I won't be able to do this with that trial. Because the judge, which of course we're appealing, because the judge said basically I don't have a right to speak. And I'm the number one candidate, leading the Republicans by 55 or 60 points. That should be over. And leading Joe Biden. And I'm being restricted. My speech has been taken away from me. I'm a candidate that's running for office, and I'm not allowed to speak.
That's crazy. This
is a railroading. It's all coming out of the Department of Justice. It's all set up by Biden and his thugs that he's surrounded with to try and sneak out an election victory that he's not entitled to win because he's been the worst president in the history of our country. Thank you very much.
Let's document the backfire on Letitia James and the Biden administration crookedly going after Trump. Here's this billionaire, a Democrat voter. This is Chamath Palihapitiya. I'm pretty sure I'm butchering that name, but he admits that he was wrong about President Trump and says he now appreciates what Trump is able to do. Listen to this.
Voted for Hillary Clinton. I voted for Joe Biden, but this is the honest assessment. The guy did, for the things that he was supposed to do, a good job. And for where every other president found a way to, frankly, make our situation a little bit worse, specifically around wars, he did not do that. And that is a huge accomplishment that I think needs to be acknowledged. As a Democrat who has been left homeless, who is now definitely in the center, but probably leaning
He's leaning increasingly to the right, but they're called homeless because they can no longer find a home and stand what the Democrats are doing.
Despite the messenger of the message of the Trump administration, because what those guys did was pretty incredible in hindsight. These Abraham Accords, the accords with Israel and the GCC, the almost accord between Israel and Saudi, to really be able to find a long-lasting peace is just a real example for the world. And those guys did a lot of really good work.
So even though this guy knew that back then, he voted for Biden. So what has changed? He's going to give you the line of evidence of what happened.
And in fact, this is a moment where you have to start to re-underwrite, is one's Trump derangement syndrome causing more damage than anything that Trump could have actually done? And I think the answer is yes, because it's now causing us to not see.
Trump derangement syndrome, called TDS, is a blinding thing that keeps you from seeing what he did. And now his blinders are off.
Man, y'all just pay attention to that. Now you're starting to see what I've been saying for the longest about Dems are turning on Joe Biden and siding with Trump, because a lot of them are starting to see, okay, yes, I'm a Dem, but I need to be on the side of what's right. And they know Trump is right. Look what Trump just said. He said, I'm the leading candidate, and I'm not even able to speak, which means that judge and that Attorney General, Letitia James, they already had their mind set up of how they wanted that court hearing to go. They already knew they didn't want Trump to speak. He wanted to sit up there and take off his glasses and smirk. She wanted to stare at the back of his head, and they were going to say whatever they wanted to say and not let Trump say anything. That is wrong. Election interference at its finest. That's all this about. The man said he should have been in New Hampshire and all of that campaigning, but yet he getting held up in a courtroom in New York City over BS. And they trying to seize his assets and stuff like that. So that's the reason why I'm glad that Trump really, before he went into the courtroom, he was talking, letting everybody know what is going on. They won't let me speak. And he was like, man, what kind of stuff is this? All y'all trying to do is just stop me from campaigning. Now, a lot of people are starting to wake up. A lot of Dems are starting to wake up and start to see, okay, maybe I messed up voting for Joe Biden. Maybe I should have voted for Trump. And like I said, he ain't the only one that's feeling that way. There's a lot of Dems are starting to turn on Joe Biden's side with Trump. Because they on the side, they know what's right.
Biden just made a Trump fan.
That good work and then embrace and extend it. So much of the work that happened in that administration turns out to have been right. And that's what's so frustrating for me. The work on the border wall. We didn't like the messenger, so we killed the message. Turned out it was right. Issuing long-term debt to refinance when rates were at zero. We didn't like the messenger, so we killed the message. A structural peace in the Middle East. We didn't like the messenger, so we killed the message. When are we going to stop shooting ourselves in the foot? And when are we going to actually see and take the time to look past who is saying things and actually listen to them word for word?
That's a convert, legit. And he is a billionaire, a donor. So that's going to go into Trump's coffers and be taken out of Biden's. That's happening across America right now. People are waking up. The blinders are being removed. And then here's the polls. What is happening in the polls? Well, there's a big one here where this is John Tester, a Democrat, but Trump lead in a new Montana poll. Democrat Senator John Tester and former President Trump are both leading their top competitors among voters in Montana, according to a new Emerson College polling survey. In a hypothetical 2024 matchup with President Biden, who's also running for election, Trump leads with a 49% in the incumbents, 28%. That is a massive swing of 20 points.
I told y'all, every time they try to pull some BS on Donald Trump with these civil trials, trying to stop him from campaigning, all this mess that's going on, every time they do that, it backfires every single time. Every single time it backfires. When they going to get to the point where, you know what, let's just leave Donald Trump alone? Because the more we mess with him, the more we try to put him in courtrooms, the more we try to raid him, get him these indictments, it constantly just raising the polls. He constantly just running away in the polls. Why don't we just leave him alone? They got to start talking to themselves sooner or later. It's going to get to the point where y'all going to realize, leave Donald Trump alone. Let the man do his job. Let the man campaign. He said this is the worst president we had ever had in Joe Biden. The worst out of everybody is Joe Biden.
Now let's look at Montana from 2020, and Trump only led Biden by 56-40. That's 16 points. So Trump is expanding what he was doing back in 2020. Biden looks much worse now than he did at the same time in the election back in for the 2020 election. Biden is hemorrhaging. Trump is slowly gaining, and I believe it's these Democrats that are doing it, and it's because they're looking at what Letitia James did. This is backfiring on them in the best way. If you guys love this kind of news, then just say hi in the comments. I'm Doug.
Shout out to Doug. Shout out to Doug, man. Like I said, that backfired on Letitia James, trying to you put this man in jail. You're trying to sue him on the low for your own personal reasons. You're working with this corrupt judge in New York City that act like he ain't never seen a camera before. But y'all keep doing what y'all doing, because all y'all doing is just helping Trump out, raising the polls even higher for him. Because like right now, he is crushing Joe Biden. Crushing him. But like I said, y'all get in the comment section. Let me know what y'all think about all of this. Once again, salute to Doug for another great video. Shout out to him. Like I said before, I will leave the original video in the description. Make sure y'all go check it out. And I'll catch y'all in the next one.